What do women want us to do? Are we supposed to support black women? Monique, when she need, the Netflix and she taking on and it's black girl magic.
Bro, I told you, it's only support when they want it and when they right. Everything else is stay out of women's business. Stay out of women's business.
But we the savages though.
But that's why I stay out of women's business. If you get hit by the bus, you get hit by the bus because I'm staying out of y'all business. Because again, I always supported Monique from jump. I debated with women and men alike. But again, we got too many people in the community who willing to go along to get along, who willing to, oh, well, you got to do it this way, do it that way. Do it this way, do it that way. You can't offend nobody. You can't ruffle no feathers. Because if you ruffle feathers, oh my God, you're the worst thing in the world. But welcome to another episode of Eavesdrop. This is what, episode like 50, whatever, 57.
Yeah.
We've been going good for about a year.
Yeah.
And I want to, shout out to us.
Yeah, get up to the
shout out to us for being consistent. A lot of people do things, a lot of people don't remain consistent. So I wanted to, on this day before 4th of July, shout out to everybody who is turning up right now. Enjoy y'all day, enjoy y'all night tomorrow. Much love. But we are going to have a conversation today that is necessary because I have seen a lot of things across my feeds and across the YouTube universe in terms of the conversations being had around, Sha'Carri Richardson. Black people, where we positioned and what is the way to go and what is the way to move. And so today, that's what's going to be the conversation, man. So for everybody who is here with us, I would please, can you hit the like button? It costs you nothing. Can you hit the share button? It costs you nothing. And can you please subscribe? It costs you nothing. These are cost-friendly asks. For everybody who want to say I'm brilliant, for everybody who want to say I'm this and I'm that, please just do what I ask. Because there is a method to the madness. It is. Because I'm going to talk about today, when we get into Sha'Carri Richardson, how you co-opt and weaponize the political infrastructure against itself. Because that's the larger conversation in and around whatever you all have to talk about around who's right and who's wrong. I don't care about who's right and who's wrong. I'm about how can we weaponize this situation to get what we want?
Because nothing even matters
at all. Boot. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Everybody, I'm sure, is aware of the Sha'Carri Richardson situation, but as you all know, we always got to put up an article just because y'all hate black men. The world is misandrous, and I know y'all don't love us, so I just want y'all to know we not talking just off the top of our head every single time, and that we do know something, we do know things, and that we all are not bad. So it is what it is. But Sha'Carri Richardson. So this is what you all are seeing right now from MSNBC. I'm going to scroll up to the top. Sha'Carri Richardson drugs test suspension is the result of racist policies. The Tokyo Olympics would be lessened without Richardson's presence on the track. We all know that it's fact. Mm-hmm. And so, highlights. We know how we do over here. Instead, Richardson may not get to run at all in Tokyo after failing a drug test taken during the Olympic trials in Oregon. But it wasn't a performance enhancer that was in her system. It was marijuana, which she said Friday morning that she used to cope with the learning about the death of her biological mother the week before. As we move down, we both know it's heartbreaking and infuriating on whatever side you stand on. But hold on, let me go ahead and fix this real quick so we can get this cover to cover. But it mirrors the place marijuana still holds under federal law as a Schedule 1 drug. It's treated as just as addictive and dangerous as drugs that kills thousands in overdoses every year. I'm going to stop there because that's the point, and that's what I want to talk about today. But I want everybody to know. Shout out to Kiki, RIP, to her daughter. We had an event the other day down, unfortunately, at the Secret Garden in Anacostia, Washington, D.C. Her daughter was a victim of opioids. And so when we talk about schedules of drugs, let me just help y'all understand. So what is a controlled substance, right? So we got Schedule 1 drugs. That's your heroin, that's your meth, that's marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule 1 drug. And like I always get over here, look, it all relates back to politics. I know y'all don't like it, but it all relates back to the politics. Because your boy Joe Biden said that he was going to put marijuana on a Schedule 2 level. So Schedule 2 drugs are substances that also have a high potential for abuse. They differ from Schedule 1 drugs and that they do not currently have the accepted medical use. But we know that marijuana has the medical usage. Mm-hmm. We know that marijuana is a multi-billion-dollar industry right now. Man. And look, there's 5 schedules. You got Schedule 2, you got Schedule 3, you got Schedule 4, you got Schedule 5. And Schedule 5 is the substance that has a low potential for abuse relative to those in Schedule 5, the drug other than substance has a currently accepted medical use and treatment in the United States. And I just want y'all to know, just for clarity's sake, because we're about trying to teach and inform people, cocaine, methamphetamine, your mollies, your morphines, PCP.
Ooh, not that boat.
PCP.
Not that water.
Is a Schedule 2 drug.
You lying. You lying.
Nigga, I'm looking at it.
So them dudes that be on 7th Avenue tripping out.
Schedule 2. That means that it has a medicinal purpose in certain circumstances. And you can use it.
That's crazy.
But this is what we going to get into in the Sha'Carri Richardson situation, because I know a lot of people had comments. And I know a lot of people don't want to have both conversations at the same time. Because the problem is, understand this. Yes, Sha'Carri Richardson messed up. Yes, she did. Did she enter into a situation where she signed a contract and had an understanding of where she was? Yes, she did. But the same way I told you I had a problem with that whole Black Messiah BS that Daniel Kaluuya was on because it represented young black boys as grown men, is the same reason why I'm saying this is a 21-year-old young lady whose mother had just died. Let's speak to people's humanity, because this is where I get lost. And you got to help me come out of the lostness. On one day, we talking about trauma, health and wellness, all of these different things as a community. But then I see a lot of black people, and again, I'm all for accountability. She accepted what she did.
Mm-hmm. Very mature.
But if we're going to talk about that, let's have a conversation about the mental trauma. Let's have a conversation not about only her mother's death, but the matriculation and what she has had to do to produce to be where she is, where she's at. Like I told you the other day, I'm in the middle. And I'm in the middle because, yes, it was, what's the word? It was a huge misstep in that she knew and that we as black people should always know and be aware of the institutions that we're walking into. Because we're going to get into how they have banned caps for afros. Yeah. And we're going to get into the other girl who had actual performance enhancement drugs pop up.
Right. Yeah, that's wild.
In her test, but she said it was a pork sandwich.
Stay avoid pork. She was putting them motherfuckers in the pork.
But my issue is that people can't have two conversations at once. Yes, Matrice Richardson messed up, but I need people to start understanding, and I get why we don't, because everybody in our community is apolitical. Oh, I don't want to do that. That political stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Understand that this is an opportunity to weaponize the issue and matter at hand and get what we want. Because there is no reason that Sha'Carri, I understand that the rules are in place. I understand that she signed a contract with the rules that are in place. Mm-hmm. But as an advocate, as a person who understands how you get what you want, I wish that I had more people in my community to understand that this is a moment that we can weaponize to our advantage. This is a moment that we can push Joe Biden, because the Olympics is a world stage sports event
that we run traditionally.
Joe Biden, why is marijuana not a Schedule II drug, and has it not been legalized, not decriminalized? Because decriminalized, as we have here in DC, also allows you to be penalized, and not only the way in Sha'Carri Richardson, but by way of economics, by way of labor, because a person gets to test you and not allow you access. And the reason that I'm talking about it in this way is because us African Americans do not have the social capital in the networks to be able to bypass certain things. And I'm talking to you as a person who has bypassed it. I'm talking to you as a person who's never been drug tested a day in my life on the job.
What?
Ever.
Nigga, I don't smoke and they drug test me.
I've never been drug tested. Why? Because I guarantee you the people at the top have invested and also probably do cocaine, methamphetamines, weed, Molly, whatever. Why? Because drugs are just drugs. People use drugs recreationally at every different level, and the higher you get up and the more people you know, you understand that drugs are just drugs.
Nigga, I go through the metal detector and they ready to drug test me.
Nigga. See, and this is my problem with the uppity black folks. And yes, I'm coming at y'all next. You fake woke. Y'all lucky it's the algorithm. Because you fake woke people irritate me. Understand that all of you people walking around talking about, oh, well, she knew this, she knew that, she knew this, she knew that. Oh my God. Oh my God. When y'all gonna stop uplifting the youth? Because let's have a conversation also, too. I ain't gonna have a conversation because it's a conversation for a whole other day about how trash the elders are.
Oh my God. Woo!
That we have a youth in a space who could not weaponize and take advantage of the opportunity because of lack of guidance. Because her mother died, which was probably her only guidance, and now she has zero guidance.
Yeah, she lived primarily with the grandmother all her life. Well, not all her life, but you know what I mean.
But everybody got shit to talk. You fake woke Negroes irritate me because you talk all day and then you go back to your vices and you go back to all of the bull malakry that exist. You niggas need to go back and watch the NFL. Go back and watch Just Sports and sit down and shut up. Because you want to sit here and cry about every single thing under the sun and then want to have these takes that are baseless in nothing. Your takes are baseless in nothing. Your takes are based in pop culture, in popularness. Because you don't want to weaponize the moment that we have here politically to get us to have marijuana legalized, not decriminalized, not to be confused with, because I know a lot of people don't understand the difference, but understand that this is a moment to co-op. This is a moment to put Joe Biden on the front burner, because guess what? You said that you were going to make marijuana a Schedule II drug. You said that you were going to legalize it. So why is it that we have commissions on a national, international level that are still having in place measures in and around non-performance enhancing drugs when you have a white young lady who has been tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, and she contributed to a pork sandwich. And before I let you go ahead and hop in, stop comparing this to Michael Phelps, because it's not the same. Marijuana in 2008 was not in the same place legally. Marijuana was not in the same place in terms of the discussions around marijuana. Marijuana was not in the same place in a myriad of ways. Use the actual facts. For all of my black people who are just making false equivalencies that are lazy, stop. Read. Get it together, because there is a moment to be weaponized, but that is not the way. Because Michael Phelps, the reason that he was allowed to compete was not because he was white, it was because they found it after the fact, and it was also just an actual picture of him smoking marijuana. That was the difference. I hear y'all, and I agree, but weaponize. Learn how to weaponize better. That's all I'm asking. Weaponize better. It's a moment to weaponize. So all you uppity Negroes, stop. Shut up. I'm tired of you. Please. We're trying to do something here. It's a $3 billion industry that niggas is still locked up for. But you uppity Negroes are a problem.
Yeah. Like I said, man, listen, you got elders, right? You got elders that will sit back and talk hours and hours about Michael Jordan, but then to sit back and wonder why all the young is killing for Jordan sneakers. That's where we at in 2021. But let's get on to this Chicago. So when it comes to Chicago,
shout out to Prophecy Films, my man Taquan Pugh on here with us.
I hear the middle, and I respect the middle. But I'm sorry. I'm on Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm sorry. I got to. Because let's look at politicians, right?
Okay.
Take any politician you want. Obama, everybody's favorite. At the same age of Sha'Carri Richardson, it is public record that nigga was doing way more wild stuff than just smoking on a little bit of weed.
Who, Obama?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them. Take any politician right now and go back to what they did at 21, and I guarantee you, Sha'Carri Richardson is a saint compared to the politicians that y'all sit here and slurp up.
Slurp up.
I'm tired of it. She is 21, Her mom died.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Her mom died.
Yeah.
Some of us black folk, if our mom would have died right now, that's the only wealth we got.
And
you homeless if your mama died right now.
You done.
But you got an opinion on this.
Done.
That's the only wealth we got in Black America, apparently. As we get into that wealth data later.
Yeah. And everybody fake. Everybody's sitting around here talking about they got what it takes.
And it's like, no, fam. No. And just to finish up my point. So in the news, also, you had your boy Harry and the Prince and all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They unveiled a statue of their mama, Princess Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Diana, God rest her soul. That's probably the most beautiful white woman that I will publicly acknowledge.
You can't be saying that.
I'm just saying.
You about to get us.
She was elegant. She died 24 years ago. 24 years ago,
24 years ago.
And they are allowed to publicly mourn their mama, build a statue of their mama, and get all the sympathy in the world.
Team up with racism in the name of their mama.
Exactly. All black folk, all Sha'Carri Richardson wanted to do was smoke her a little bit of weed and run. That's all she wanted to do. And she can't get no sympathy. But you got black folk that will sit here and give Prince and all of them, Prince Harry and them, all the sympathy in the world for their mama that died 23 years ago.
Yeah.
Why do they get all of that, but she can't get none?
Because they want white validation, bro.
But our own people can't give us that?
Nah, they want white validation. They don't care about us.
So let me go down the list real quick.
Okay.
Let me go down the list. So apparently, black folk can't breathe.
Nope.
We have a very serious problem.
We can't go running out in public.
Nope.
We can't sell cigarettes.
Nope.
We can't sell waters.
Nope.
God damn it, we can't go to the store.
Nope. You're shot.
What are we doing here?
We have a very serious problem.
We have a very serious problem. Because again, we got the Negroes who want the validation. They don't understand that they're never going to be validated.
And I do you one even better. The worst one of them all. Black folk can't sit in their own house and eat ice cream, bruh.
Shut the bottom.
It's hot as shit out. It's hot as a mug outside.
Shut the bottom, Gene.
I can't go in my house and eat ice cream.
Well, you know she appealed that joint and they took it. Because you can just shoot Negroes. That's what it is. Watch out for the phone, man. You gotta watch out for the phone.
That's my bad, Mo. But this it's crazy how much we give these people. You got real people that will give all the grace in the world to white people that are going through. But we can't even run in public. I can't sit on that couch right now and eat my ice cream as a black person in America without getting shot. But that we don't even talk about that no more.
Nah. Because it's so many of them that happen. And this is the thing. That people are not understanding that it's all linked together. Because again, when you talk about the ban on caps for afros, and when you have a lot of these conversations, I don't think people are understanding that the reason that we're seeing more and more overt and as well as subversive forms of, control is because you have the Negro, the white Negroes who want to, the validation and the actual positionality and the wealth that we'll talk about a little bit later is that we on our last leg, man. We don't have too much time to waste. And so with that being said, man, I just wanted to end on that because a lot of people think that these conversations are just fun to have. And a lot of people think that they just going to go ahead on Facebook and Twitter and all of these places and spew a lot of nonsense and foolery. And I sat in full transparency, bro. I sat here and thought about, we talked about prior to and talking about the benefits of marijuana in terms of how it can increase your fold. But I'm not going to go into it. You want to know why? I'm not going to get him that argument.
Yeah,
I don't want nobody to see this video and they have an argument in and around something, especially after I saw that a girl was able to get out of it because she ate a pork sandwich. Nah. I know marijuana, you know what I'm saying? It's different strands and all kinds of different things, but it's unfortunate. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah, hold your head. Hold your head.
Always, if you listening to this, know that you in the racist institutions, whether you in academia, whether you in athletics, wherever you at. Know, understand, and embrace that these motherfuckers is crazy. And the higher and higher you go, they gonna get crazier.
Yeah, but Gilded Sage's kid if don't nobody else care.
And look, for everybody who ain't into politics, we over here, I'm here to be your political advisor. If you need access, if you need understanding, if you need the noble savage on your side, I'm here. Because why? I don't think y'all really understand how crazy this shit really get and how pervasive and depraved it really gets. But it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on to, I appreciate everybody for being here. Before we get into the next segment, man, if you're here, please like the video. Please share. Please leave a comment. Again, shout out to the bro. He online with us. Please subscribe. All of these are things that are very easy that can be done, that helps us get to our goals, because this message, this conversation is all about community. If you want to hop on, everything is in the link of the description. We welcome all people. We welcome all different walks of life. We welcome all different opinions. Even if you don't agree, you can speak to any of the topics up here. I know we just talked to one, but as we move on and continue to move on, feel free to jump back in and speak to any topic that you want to. So with that being said, we're going to get into next.
What's on the docket next?
The Black TikTokers.
What?
The Black TikTokers. But before we get into the Black TikTokers, I want to build it up. And I want to build it up in a way where it makes sense. Because the Black TikTok strike I'm in support of. If all of you Black TikTokers are listening to this Negro right here, please continue to strike. Because I have called for Black politicos to strike. And I'm talking about the politicos that's up at the top. If we got at the bottom, Jim Clyburn, the bum who continues to sell out. And yeah, I'm going to be disrespectful because all elders don't deserve respect. You're a bum. Man. Even if I wanted to get put on, I don't want to get put on by a nigga like you. Man. Because a nigga like you going to have me lubed up in the booty hole.
Man, catfish frying.
What the? We going to get into what that nigga did later. But it is what it is. But the Black TikTokers are on strike, right? And so we're going to get into a little bit of information. So first off, I want to get into this NYT article where they are talking about Black workers stop making progress. And so I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Black workers stop making progress on pay. Is it racism? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my highlights together. So the first highlight is going to be, you know, throughout the duration of this article, he says, I'm not in denial that education matters, but I am pushing back on the extent that it matters, said Derek Hamilton, a professor
Nice.
of economics at the New School in New York. The fact is, there are a limited number of jobs, and we sort them out based on power. Race is a deciding factor. And so I also wanted to bring up in that part, because what a lot of people talk about, even when it comes to immigration, is that, it doesn't affect us or anything like that, when it actually does.
Mhm.
Because as he mentions here, jobs are a limited source. And when we get later into the article, they talk about how though we get jobs, we don't get those jobs that are the more lucrative ones.
Mhm.
So it says consider information technology, and that's the kind of framing of the article that they went with before I go down, so that you all have a nice understanding. He says, but for all the evidence of racial disparities, many economists say employers' racial biases cannot fully explain what's going on in the workplace. The idea that discrimination alone has determined black workers' lot at work, their employment, and their wages does not mesh with how American society has changed over the past half century. Simply put, if racism is the reason that black workers have lagged in pay, said Eric Hurst, a professor of economics at the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business, how is it that they made such progress after World War II, significantly closing the wage gap with whites, while segregation and other explicit barriers were still widespread? And why did this progress stop, even though racial animus, by various measures, declined?
That's a lazy take.
I wouldn't say it's a lazy take. I think it's a great question.
But it's
Because
a lazy take though. Because understand, during that same time, I could walk my behind right up the street and get a 40 or what, 50-hour paying job working at a coal mine or somewhere in a factory that supported me for the rest of my life.
But you jumping ahead, because we gonna get into that.
Okay, I got you.
We gonna get into that. They talk about that.
I got you.
Cause your boy Kwame Brown sprinkled some of that mama's cooking. Look, if he watching, please come over here to the political realm. Because it's a bunch of politicos that need people to be more politically engaged. Because what is happening is the weaponization of the market of information, the information age.
Mm-hmm.
And in the information age, information becomes capital. Information becomes power.
Yeah.
So, you brought that up, right? As we jump down, there was a convergence between blacks and whites, but then it stopped, said Dr. Hurst, who is also deputy director of the Becker Friedman Institute for Economics, which sponsors a podcast I host. The question is why? Industrial change offers a plausible answer to your point. Consider all the black workers who flocked from the South of well-paid jobs in the car factories, steel smelters, glass and rubber plants of the Northeast and the Midwest. They were hammered by globalization and large-scale automation. So, when people want to come to me and talk to me about, oh, immigration doesn't impact the African American community, automation isn't going to impact the African American community. It is. It is. Please stop talking to me like I'm dumb. Please stop talking to me like I don't see and interact with these people and interact with staunch capitalists, American capitalists, because I want everybody to understand that American capitalism is completely different from just capitalism as a whole. because it's attached to slavery. It's attached to the undermining of labor. It's attached to the degradation of your humanity. But I digress.
Hey, hashtag stop gaslighting millennials.
Stop fucking playing with me, man. Stop fucking playing with us. Because boomers, we coming.
Please.
We gonna get it to y'all next. Cause we know how much wealth y'all got and y'all goddamn holding on it. We gonna come for y'all next too.
We need them coffers. We going to them coffers.
See, y'all don't like niggas who know how to read. Not know how to read, but actually are willing to read. And not just read, but read the shit that... Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Algorithm.
African Americans account for 7% of computer and information system managers, 6.2% of software developers, and 6.8% of lawyers. At the other end of the job market, they represent 22% of personal care aides, 31% of security guards, and 21% of couriers and messengers. The black-white skills gap narrowed and discrimination failed, Dr. Hurst said, but gains in the returns to abstract skills advantage whites relative to blacks. These forces roughly canceled each other out. Dr. Sprigg acknowledged that this interpretation has a built-in plausibility. You know, I always talk about the plausible deniability. Mm-hmm. You can't oppress anybody without plausible deniability. Because you got to have the people believing that part of you is ignorant, and that part of you isn't malicious, and that part of you is just making messed up decisions. Instead, it's actually intentional.
Oh, yeah. You see, he made it. Why can't you?
Why can't you? Still, he argues the role of discrimination by employers is underplayed. Most desirable jobs goes to whites, he said. Why don't y'all think that this is planned? So, I'm going to end my little rant here because I want to have a conversation because everybody want to keep talking about education. Shout out to Antonio Moore and shout out to Yvette Carnell because they talk about plugs and outlets because it's the plugs and outlets that matter. Because what does your education matter? What does my brilliance matter? What does my intelligence matter if I can't capitalize on the opportunity of it? And the opportunity we talked about, and y'all can check in the description link below, when we talk about Nicole Hannah-Jones having to negotiate her tenure, she's about to be silenced. She's about to be not being able to say nothing because they gave her that on the back of, you better shut your mouth, you black whatever. Because we all understand that moving in these institutions, we all understand why Kamala Harris took back her words about Joe Biden. We all understand why Simone Sanders don't got no smoke for nothing but black men. We all understand why everybody got something to say, but nothing to say when it comes to the establishment. We all know somebody who want to talk about Donald Trump and how racist he was, but we don't want to talk about how Joe Biden is continuing not only the economic policies, but the cultural policies and continuing. Not only has this nigga, and I say that with an ER, done what he's done. Julian Assange is on the run, setting precedent for all you journalists, for everybody who want to be an activist. That, as we covered on the last episode, the domestic violence extremists is a very vague set of terminology. They got something for us. Because if you go against capitalism, religion, or anything that is against the establishment, they have the right to invade your privacy. And as I covered on the last episode, your boy, Black Jesus, Barack Obama, set in place the indefinite detention. So all of the foreign policy that we've had to commit war crimes that Julian Assange is on trial for because he exposed it as a journalist, they are now making domestic. So now the same war crimes they have committed foreign are now coming to us. To us.
Yeah, just for speaking. Just for speaking.
So if you say something against Jeff Bezos and how capitalism functions, you're a domestic violence extremist. If you say, oh my God, government doesn't work the way that it's supposed to work, you can be considered a domestic violence extremist.
Yeah.
And this is your boy Joe Biden. But everybody, oh my God, Trump. But they slurping them off, topping them off. Nothing is being said because everybody's scared. Everybody and the people who ain't scared and the people who ain't saying nothing, they just being fed. And they're not saying nothing. But guess what? I want everybody who understands that not saying nothing, I can't wait till it's your kids. I can't wait till it's you. Because y'all think that it's sweet.
Yeah.
You think that it's sweet. They're going to come after you. Y'all love quotes. You love talking about the Holocaust. You love talking about quotes that come out of it. But America, as I tell people, will shit on Hitler 10 times over every single time. Hitler wished he could be the American institution.
Man.
The J. Edgar Hoover building still sits up to this day.
Yeah.
Joe Biden right now. All of this, go ahead.
Listen, you got people crying real tears over Donald Rumsfeld.
Can't make this shit up.
We have a very serious problem.
Can't make this shit up. Man.
Hey, listen. If I had a hand for how many wars this man either started, had something to do with, or secretly did on his own, because at one point that Negro had more power than the president.
And look, before we even go ahead and get into it, bro, they not even, because again, I know y'all don't like black men who read. I know y'all misandrous. I know y'all don't really fuck with us, but I'm about to give it to you anyway. Because I see all of the tweets. I see everything. My mental health is good over here. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the older Americans. Let's talk about their foolery. Let's talk about their fuckery. Older Americans. Let's go up to the top of this. This is the Wall Street Journal. So, don't have smoke with me. It's the Wall Street Journal that said it.
Yeah.
So Wall Street, those are white men. Y'all not gonna have smoke for them. Older. Oh no, I messed it up. Older Americans stockpiled a record $35 trillion. The time has come to give it away. 35 trillion.
That's what, 9, 10? How many zeros is that?
But mind you, from the wealth data, shout out to Tone, we only got 395 billion. Shout out to Antonio Moore. We only got 395 billion, fam. So when people talk about this $1, this $1 trillion spending power, they don't understand it's relative to a 21 total $1 trillion spending power in America. But let's get into it. Baby boomers and older Americans have spent decades accumulating an enormous stockpile of money. At the end of this year's first quarter, Americans aged 70 and above net worth of nearly 35 trillion, according to Federal Reserve. So yes, it's not just Negroes saying it. I know y'all misandrous, but it's not just us. It's the Federal Reserve. Boom. The amounts to 27% of all U.S. wealth, up from 20% 3 decades ago. Their wealth is equal to 157% of U.S. gross domestic product. Because again, as I just told you, we talking about 21 trillion. That's the current GDP. And again, I ain't no economist. I ain't out here trying to step outside of my lane. I'm just a young politico on the move. But if any economists want to hop on here, if any nigga who know money, the way money move, want to hop on here in terms of the economy, please, and I will shut up and give you the floor because what I'm reading now, from what I do understand, is this is gross negligence.
How do they have more money than the gross GDP?
Because they selfish.
That means we're not even generating enough money that they have stockpiled. You know how problematic that is?
But we ain't even got into the problem. Now they have started parceling it out to their heirs and others, unleashing a torrent of economic activity. Here's out. So all of y'all people who buying homes and all of that, and you seeing people go over the amount being asked for, listen. Now they have started parsing it out to their heirs and others, unleashing a torrent of economic activity, including buying homes, starting businesses, and giving to charity. And many recipients are guided by different priorities and politics than their givers.
Oh, so this is what they talk about white zaddies.
So what that means is I hand you down some money, but your politics, instead of the giver, the politics, the cancel culture is dictating more of where my money goes. Yeah.
Dang, so they running cancel culture too now?
Yeah, they running all that shit.
God damn, y'all been bored already?
Yep. So, and people aren't waiting until they die. Annual gifts taxpayers reported to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, aka a fraction of the gifts that flow outside of the tax system rose to $75 billion in 2016 from an inflation adjusted $45 billion in 2010. Over that period, the amount the people could give away without paying taxes on gifts rose from 1 million more to 5 million for individuals and from 2 million more to 10 million for couples. It gets crazier. Wait, it gets crazier. Inheritances and gifts can bring financial stability to some recipients, and for others can provide the freedom to take more risk. Something data has shown drives a greater willingness to invest in stocks and increase in riskier work ventures, such as starting a business that have the potential for bigger payoffs. Today, people inherit the assets have, hold on. The pending wealth transfers have caught the attention of Biden's administration, which recently proposed reducing a 40 billion annual tax break that has been the cornerstone of estate planning for generations.
That's cap.
Super cap. Today, people who inherit assets have risen in value, such as stock held outside of retirement accounts, a family home, a 3-generation manufacturer company don't pay capital gains tax unless they sell. And so, yeah.
Well, what the? Hold on. So, wait.
Yeah.
Because people got this shit accrues annually.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me these people get all they have to do is literally not go over 10 million and they won't be taxed year after year. So they can just.
And they get to.
But you niggas still buying the dip, right?
Still buying a dip. So they don't pay capital gains. If they sell, they can exclude gains that occurred during a prior owner's lifetime.
Huh?
Yeah, nigga.
Hey, y'all ever play Monopoly, right? Yeah. These they got the boardwalk joint. They got the ghetto.
Break it down. Joint. Break it down in Monopoly.
They got the greens, the blues, both the blues. Pretty much all we got is the browns, and we barely hold them.
No, we don't got nothing.
We don't got not even the railroads.
Nope.
No, not even elect. All we got is
Nigga, we just did an episode where they selling off the infrastructure through the fake infrastructure bill. The Democrats is fake passing off and everybody. Again, niggas cut me out. I peep y'all. Y'all cut me out of certain stuff. And I saw it online. But I ain't gonna say nothing.
Damn, all we got is a piece.
Yep.
To go on, but everything got hotels, so we just pay every time we land on something.
Yep.
We just pay.
Yep.
We get out $200 and then pay some.
It says, at no time in modern history has so much wealth been in the hands of older people. The fortunes of America's older generations were enlarged by booming post-World War II economy, declining tax rates on high-income households, and rising real estate and tax stock markets. So, what we gonna do? That last part right there. I want y'all to understand that in World War II, that in that era, in that time, Black people could not own property. Black people could not own stocks. Black people could not own any of those wealth accumulating assets that they're talking about in this article. Are they your outliers? Yes, they are. And fuck you if you one of those outliers who talking about, if I did it, why can't you do it? But are they outliers? Yes. But I want y'all to understand that in reading this article and put it in the context, and when we talk about wealth building, and when we talk about the gilded ages of America, 1920s, 1930s, or that would be moving into a different era in technicality.
It's like the Depression.
Not even necessarily depression, but that's where we start moving into consumerism in America through industrialization moves into that.
Oh, okay, so like
because people, but that 1910, early 1900s.
That's like the roaring 20s, and then you go into the
Gotcha. But I want people to understand that those numbers, that conversation that they have in that article and everything is, again, in the link description below. So you can read and take on your own time. I am also working on a way to figure out how to share these services. I heard that it's a way, but I want people to be able to access the information because I'm against paywalls.
Because they make you,
and so everything in the description is below. If you do have some type of access, problem, reach out. We can try to figure it out. But that's why we try to also provide the actual articles and sources up here so that people can actually see them and we aren't just talking out the side of our neck.
Yeah, we'll talk off screen about how to do
that. But we don't have access to that wealth. So that 35 trillion, we may only have a couple hundred million. And again, shout out to Antonio Moore. Shout out to Yvette Carnell because he just did an episode. Matter of fact, after the recast, I'm going to put his joint in because I think people being able to watch that, because he does a phenomenal job in explaining the wealth data. I am not on that level yet. I can admit to that.
Yeah.
And he explains, though, that the average household, again, Black household, is worth negative. And on top of being worth negative is that our wealth is scheduled to hit, or was scheduled to hit, zero by 2050. And that's probably even sooner considering COVID. And because we haven't disaggregated the data, we don't necessarily know where we stand, because you have Black immigrants who come over and are of wealthier and have different access, kind of skews the numbers. And so that was a long build-up. And I appreciate everybody who's still watching, still with us, man. I fuck with it. So because that was a long buildup. And the reason I appreciate it is because a lot of people don't have the attention span to have the whole conversation in full. Because the TikTokers, I did not forget about the TikTokers. They're on strike. And they're on strike because Twitter, TikTok, Facebook are platforms that exploit Black creators.
Yeah.
You would be surprised how many writers, how many people who write essays on Twitter or whatever are in the Washington Post, in the New Yorker, and in different spaces and don't even know it. Because people copying and pasting your material. We don't even know how many TikTokers, and just to let y'all, just so y'all can see, this is the Black.
Hey, and before you go, full disclosure. That's why my Instagram holder name is Quan the Poet, but you ain't never heard no poetry. Cause niggas be stealing.
And so the app TikTok has gone viral in itself. It's top Black creators on strike, as many say they aren't getting any credit that they deserve. The expression of their moves is all in their voice. It's a sign of respect. Give the credit. Make sure that the person's voice is heard. Make sure that the person is recognized, and that you're influenced too. On the popular app TikTok, voices have gone silent. Many Black creators are on strike, saying that they aren't getting the proper credit for their content. It's sad that people want to take away from us, and our heart is really to give art and be respected for it, said Tate. It makes me think of back in the 1950s and 40s where they did those doo-wop groups. There were African Americans who made those songs and made them popular. However, they had to send those songs to their white counterparts to make it play on the radio. Yep. Artists also benefit from the content. Take, for instance, rapper Megan Thee Stallion. A number of her singles hit big, partly due to TikTok dancers, challenges, and Black creators. Since the strike, her newest single released this month has no dance challenges. Them going and creating these challenges under the sounds help those sounds get boosted to the algorithm. So I'm going to stop there. And I just want everybody to understand that what we're talking about is people not being paid, people not being accredited, and they being nice. They just want their voice to be heard and recognition.
Like
I need them to be paid.
Black folk don't be wanting nothing. All Sha'Carri Richardson wanted to do was smoke her weed and run. We ain't even asking for the money we owe.
Because we owe, but we nice. And I ain't that nice. And that's why motherfuckers don't like me, because I ain't that nice. You can call me cold, callous, whatever, but nah.
Yeah.
Problem is, too many people is nice in a situation, in an environment that ain't nice.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
Highly. And so I support the strike. I say all that to support the strike because, again, our community doesn't have the advantage of getting gifts bequeathed upon us.
Yeah.
We don't have the advantage of getting stocks. The reason that I prefaced all of that with the articles is that I want you to understand we don't have any of that. And even going back to the first article, the workers' pay, we don't even have access to the jobs that are the more lucrative ones. Even when you look at actors, and they out here faking the funk, they're not willing to get out here in the mud with everybody, but they know they're not getting the roles. I've heard actors say that they getting the bullshit roles. They get them 20,000, 15,000. Why, goddamn, in, what is it? What's that motherfucking movie with Killmonger, my man? Who they killed? B. Nah, not Michael B. But what's the name of the movie? Black Panther?
Yeah, you talking about Howard alum.
Chadwick Boseman got paid less than a white villain.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And he was the movie. Listen, man. It's
We have a very serious problem.
bro.
Nigga.
Bro. You had me when you told me that these people bought cancel culture. I didn't know that was for sale.
Yeah.
How you buy shit that ain't even for sale?
When you got
ugobs
of money, you can buy the air, you can buy the water, you can buy everything.
Jeff Bezos about to buy the moon.
Don't say that. You might be a DVE.
Yeah. Guidelines. Y'all didn't hear that. But they want cancel culture.
Fucking cancel culture.
You got people they putting water on the New York stock. Well, not the New York stock, but they putting it in the futures market.
Mm-hmm. Words of Kamala Harris. She said they're gonna be selling water.
Like, yo, bro, you got youngins in Florida selling waters right now. Can't make $20. But these young, they gonna make the billions off of it?
Mm-hmm.
How, Sway? You got black folk won't even give little kids on the corner selling waters $20. But these people are about to buy water, and black folk about to buy it by the millions, the billions. And I make that comparison because here's the thing that we need to realize about the TikTok thing as well. Because for whatever reason, we've had it in our mind that we can do everything by ourselves. And part of the reason why we fall into a lot of these things is because we believed in this American thing where we don't need nobody. We can just go out here by ourselves and we can do on our own. And it's like, no. Nobody moves on their own. Nobody moves on their own. These people, even though they say one person's name, there are thousands of people
behind
them. You don't get to buy the moon and be one person to make the millions and the billions and the trillions.
Mm-hmm.
But they put him out there because they know we gonna look at that and be like, I, myself, can do that. When he can't even do that. He can't do it by himself. He's not that great. No one person is that great.
This is true.
So my thing with the TikTokers, if we understood our history more, like fam, even when it comes to entertainment period, we had an ABA before there was an NBA. We had a Negro League before there was an MLB. So we had a lot of these things that we done before. I'm not saying that it could be done now. I'm just saying that more people...
It could be.
More people would be way better off if we revisited.
Because just like OnlyFans and all that other stuff, all of these platforms build their people off of black people.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody trying to watch white, skinny, flat asses.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying it to be like rude or disrespectful, but the reason why BBLs and all of that stuff is popular is not because of Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is the imitation of a black woman. Like, let's keep it 100. Like people are imitating black women. Fat asses and all of that shit, that's black women. So, like, even when you talk about OnlyFans and you talk about Clubhouse and all of that, they all get their evaluations off of black people.
Yes. So, can we please
nobody watching the NFL.
Exactly. We're just all white players. Can we please revisit some of the things that we did in the past that worked? Now, it got abolished a lot of times because we didn't fund it. And the money, financially, it didn't work out. But in today's time, you are seeing what happens when you feed into white institutions. Mm-hmm. You see it. Why are y'all still signing up for this? They taking your money and they buying the moon.
But let's go ahead and get into your boy Jim Clyburn, man. We appreciate everybody for still sticking out with us. Please hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment if you want to. And again, everything is in the link if you want to join in and hop on. We do have access to be able to let people on. You do not have to agree. All opinions are welcome. But before we go ahead, let's your boy Jim Clyburn.
Nah, I call him old fish fry. Good old fish fry.
This nigga is disgraceful.
Old fish fry, man. What did he do this time, Mo?
So,
Old fish fry.
So he backs Nina Turner's opponent in the Ohio special election. Again, I'm not a super fan of Nina Turner. I do appreciate some of her takes, but it is what it is. But Rep. Clyburn made a rare intervention into the Democratic Party primary Tuesday, endorsing Cuyahoga County Councilwoman Chantel Brown in the race for Cleveland-based congressional seat in New York Times reports. Why it matters? Clyburn's endorsement of Brown over progressive Nina Turner, who was surging in her campaign and is outspoken ally of Senator Bernie Sanders, highlights ideological and generational rifts in the Democratic Party. Per the Times, Brown and Turner vying for the congressional seat vacated by Housing Security Messiah Fudge. The bigger picture. In addition, Clyburn's endorsement of Brown has received the backing of establishment Democrats, including former Secretary of State Rep. Hillary Clinton, former Ohio Attorney General Richard Cordray, and U.S. Rep. Joyce Beatty of Ohio. Turner has earned the endorsements of members of House Progressives AOC, Ayanna Pressley, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib. Flash Black. Clinton endorsed Jim Crow Joe before the South Carolina's primary in 2020, which saved his life.
Old fish fry, man. Old fish fry.
But I'm going to just drop it at that because everybody know my opinions about Jim Clyburn. He's like, again, it's a sad situation because he has put in the work. He has done what he needed to do for the community, I guess, back in the day. But that's why I always tell people, man, these people fear. And they know that violence comes when you go against the institution. Because even though I don't necessarily agree with Nina Turner on everything, she definitely a better pick than the pick that he endorsed. And so Jim Clyburn gotta go, man. Like, Slim is doo-doo.
Telling you, man.
Like, if we had a donkey of the day, that nigga would get donkey of the day.
That's, man, fish fry. That's what he is. They tell it, they listen. Give us that 6-piece and endorse who we need to get endorsed. You give us that 6-piece. Don't talk no politics. Make sure I get that 6-piece with them fries and that biscuit. That's what you do.
Man, it's a sad situation though, because, bro, like, seriously? And you the main nigga up here crying about Donald Trump on TV, fake crying and shit. I ain't gonna say what I really want to say.
Slim.
I ain't gonna say what I really want to say.
They got that man.
Bless his heart, bless his soul. Hopefully how old is that nigga?
Man, damn boy, that nigga fries fish.
But how old is he?
I don't know.
Hopefully we don't got too much longer.
I can't do this, Mo. Is that really what so all you are is frying fish at the church?
You part of the go along, get along game.
And backdooring your own candidates. That's really what you are?
No, that wasn't his candidate.
I'm just saying.
The left is naive as fuck. That's why I don't really rock with it. They're naive, some of them, and then some of them with the whole thing. Because again, that whole article that we did about the pass down and being bequeathed upon with trusts and stocks, a lot of them little white folks up in there, they getting that money.
Yeah,
they gonna get that money.
Man, if they could buy the moon, they could buy a fish fry. They probably ordering the 6-piece right now. And Jim Clyburn in that kitchen right now.
Man.
Fish frying for them trillions. ain't gonna get.
Shit don't make no sense.
Don't make no sense. They got grown politicians that are marched with Martin out here frying fish for candidates.
Man.
We couldn't get no real politics because you want to serve fish and goddamn give us Joe Biden. And he told you to do it, and you did it. I wish I would, man. That man told you to fry us some fish and goddamn give us Joe Biden.
You can get him out. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here.
Get him the hell out of here. Hold on, one more time.
You can get him out. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here.
Get him the...
I need a 6-piece fried hard, Jim Clyburn. Fried hard. With extra mumbo sauce on the side.
Man, shit's tragic. But I know you wanted to hit on this last topic of, people selling their vaginas and the whole Cosby situation.
Hey, listen, man. All I want to say is this. If I was Bill Cosby's what they call it, PO, that Negro can't go to a CVS. He can't go get no prescription. No. Bill Cosby can't take a vitamin C pill. You done enough. You done. I don't want you eating no M&Ms because it look like a pill. You can't eat no nerds. You can't eat, what's the little ones that's on the string? The little candies that you get that's on a chain, it's on a string. It look like you can't get those because it look like you can't get no aspirin, nigga. You done. You have done enough. There's no more pills for you. You get liquid medicine and you get the powder like everybody else. You get airborne. No more pills for you.
Yeah.
Because this don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
My thing is, man, look, until people are ready to have a conversation about how affluent women abuse and how women try to use their sexuality as a level up, I don't think people are ready to have this conversation based on the fact that, again, when we talk about the situation, he never admitted to raping, but he did admit to using and giving Quaaludes because he also said that, yeah, I used them too.
Yeah.
And in proper context,
Yeah.
this was the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I'm not a naive enough person to know that even in current time that women still use their vaginas to try to, play people. Even Kamala Harris, it came out in the article where she used her vagina to, gain access.
Black senator.
Yep, to the black senator. And I imagine that if that didn't happen the way that she wanted, she would have used that against that man to, me to him. And not really had a conversation around how women are also predators. Women seek out powerful men. And that this conversation being had around Bill Cosby is very flat. I'm not a Bill Cosby fan. I have my own issues with him as it relates to his respectability politics and his pound cake speech. But I think that the fact that we are so quick to go to such extremes to even cancel a person like Felicia Rashad for having an opinion just further shows me that the left and just further shows me that the uppity and, twisted and maniacal black people who have no mind of their own, but the appeal of whiteness and the appeal of identity politics are willing to make stances and lay claims that have no challenges against it. Because my thing is, yeah, I believe people in that echelon of Bill Cosby as a in totality are trash, whether it be Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, the Hillary Clintons of the world, and everybody. Because when you get to that level of power, it comes with a certain level of territory of just pure savagery. I read an article the other day where a lady, I'm going to say her name, I'm going to let you go ahead and speak while I look it up, but she actually enslaved women.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, these people get to be trash at the same age as Sha'Carri Richardson, though. Why y'all get to be trash, but then when y'all get old and all she want to do is smoke her a little bit of weed and run, all of a sudden y'all got all the smoke. But goddamn, Bill Cosby out this bitch. You can't eat a Skittle either. If I was your PO and I caught you with a bag of Skittles, you're done. You done. But back to the point. So you mean to tell me at 21, at 22, you get to be whatever you wanted to be. You get to do all these drugs back in the 70s. You get to do all of this stuff. And then you get to grow old and see somebody that's dealing with issues do this much of what you did when you was 21. And all of a sudden you get to be the biggest hypocrite in the world. Oh my goodness. Man, I wish we could, man, listen. And some of y'all that's upset, y'all need to go talk to y'all parents and go look at them photos of what your parents was doing in the 70s, in the 60s. Because I guarantee you, Sha'Carri Richardson is an angel compared to some of y'all parents back in them days. I can guarantee you.
So it's not popping up in the Google search, but I'm about to go ahead and go to my Facebook because I know that they throttled the fact that this woman did this, and that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, it's sad.
Can't even have a real conversation.
It's sad. They probably bought that article while we were speaking.
Yeah,
that's how much wealth they got.
Judge says Allison Mack willingly enslaved, destabilized, and manipulated women.
It don't make no sense, bruh. And my biggest thing, even though I'm joking around with the Bill Cosby thing, my biggest thing is this. Bill Cosby was an adult during the age where, what was it, the 60s? You had things happening like Emmett Till, where if you looked at a white woman, you were able to be what? Killed? All types of stuff.
Whole towns.
So like, exactly. They was destroying whole towns over just whistling and breathing.
That's why I think it's more complex than people want to actually.
How in the world could you, as a black man in the 60s, how could you be doing all of these things?
But this what I mean.
The savage.
But this what I mean by a lot of black people, man. They cowards.
It's no way, dog.
They don't really want to have and push back on the conversation because a lot of black people, bro. If you put white women in a room, they're gonna get them to shut the fuck up. White men don't gotta do nothing no more.
And that's what I'm saying.
White women will drop their pussies on niggas' heads because niggas ain't about shit.
And that's what I'm saying. Oh, didn't MLK get stabbed in the 60s? And that's the most peaceful man we know. What are we talking about here? How could you, as Bill Cosby,
60 women,
rape 60 women, majority white, during a time where Emmett Till, what did he whistle at a white woman? And got his whole...
Didn't even whistle. She came out and said that he lied. She came out and said that she lied.
Bro, they didn't even allow Ray Charles to perform Georgia in the 60s. But Bill Cosby was able to just rape and slam dunk pills in people's...
But again, nobody wants to talk about the people who came out and said that they lied.
Okay.
But again, everybody naturally accumulates or, brings this stance that we're talking about right now to support Bill Cosby. Because right now, again, people don't even know. People who love Kwame Brown and do all of that talk about, go along, get along. And they fake woke, but they don't understand they part of the go along, get along.
Bang with Bill. Mo,
I don't.
I swear, Mo.
Don't like the name.
Hey, listen, Mo.
But I think it's a bigger conversation to be had.
But you know what, though? And this is I'm starting to really understand how a Clarence Thomas is developed, bro. I really understand that shit.
Bro. I do. I told you.
I want to say he used to be a real one at one point, but he just got tired of the fuckery.
I told you the sellouts are created.
He got tired of this
born.
Shit. He got tired of it.
Why not? Because again, in the end, Why not fuck niggas over if they won't be dumb anyway?
He got tired of this shit.
Why not? You can't even have a conversation. They're canceling Felicia Rashad, trying to get her removed from Howard University.
Bro, she was just Black Girl Magic like a couple months ago.
No, weeks.
Weeks ago. Didn't she get like a NAACP Image Award or something? A Lifetime, one of those.
And she made an opinion, a statement on opinion, and you can't have opinions no more because all of the fake black people are fake lefties and fake woke, just like the goddamn white people they complain about, and they worse, 10 times worse. I'd rather sit down and have a conversation with goddamn racists than a lot of people because this shit is ridiculous. You can't even have a conversation. At least racist motherfuckers will say, you know, I don't like your ass, but okay, what you think? These black motherfuckers is like, oh, you know what? She can't say this. She can't say that. So now she got to lose her job.
Exactly. Why Felicia Rashad got to lose her job? But y'all ain't got no smoke for Tucker Carlson.
Nah,
I'm just talking.
They ain't got no smoke for Epstein. They ain't got no smoke for Bezos. They ain't got no smoke for goddamn what's his name? Bill Gates. They ain't got no smoke for nobody. They ain't got no smoke for Joe Biden. Because let's talk about, or no, I don't want to talk about it, but let's not forget Tariq got silenced. So all of the fake ass Democratic niggas who hopping out there right now, I remember Tariq got silenced so Joe Biden could win. So get the fuck out of here with all of that. Because in the end, y'all all about just going along to get along with the bullshit. When it come down to really having a conversation, y'all ain't about having no fucking conversations. Ain't nobody giving Tara Reid a chance. I know women who shitted on Tara Reid. Fake ass motherfuckers. I know people who sat down in my face and had the audacity to tell me, oh, she just tripping just because they was in a Democratic Party.
Hey.
White women. But guess what? Nobody want to be held accountable. And nobody want to listen and nobody want to have real conversations when it really get real dicey and real iffy.
They still taking that Bloomberg money. Your man got out there. We know about those what they call them? Them orders to side, what they call them? We know about those.
We have a very serious problem.
Bloomberg money, all kinds of white man money. But the patriarchy is bad. We gonna end here. Thank you for everybody for watching. It's love. It is what it is. If y'all want to hop on, I'll extend the conversation.
Yes.
But
please. Link is in the bio.
Link is in not only in the bio, but in the description. It is what it is. I call it how I see it. Y'all fake.
This is ghetto.
Very.
In the ghetto, on the cold and gray Chicago morning, that little baby child is born in the ghetto.
But we'll catch y'all another time. Thank y'all. Hit the like button, hit the share button, please subscribe. And we'll be back. In the meantime, man, look into your soul. Be righteous and be objective.
Yeah.
Because this whole, I'm just going to agree with the win ain't cool.
Hey, and listen, you can't turn up more for the 4th than you did Juneteenth. Because I'm watching y'all. I'm watching. But other than that, dang. Yup.